Hey guys, I'm Bionicle Titan, and welcome back to Bionicle Uncovered. Joining me today is...
FX on fire!
And of course, your old pal, the Doctor.
And today we're going to be looking at the 2008 story of the Toa Nuva that were known as the Mistika and Phantoka during that year. But first we have to start back a little bit in 2007 while they're in... I just totally blanked and we just started. That's good. While the Toa Mari are underwater, the Toa have to accomplish the task of the scroll preparations while they're there, so that way they can both help in Matanui's awakening. So they have a whole list of things to do.
This list of things to do involves helping the environment. No, seriously. They had to actually destroy the environment, actually. Great message for the kids, because their first task was to free the Balrog and unleash the Borok. So they could, clear the landscape of the island of Matanui, which would make it easier for the Great Spirit Robot's face to come out of the water.
And the funny thing is, the Balrog, even though you may have remembered in 2002 to 2003, all that time, it was kind of assumed that the Balrog and the Borok were kind of the enemies, the villains, but it actually shows now that they're actually kind of good guys in I guess you can kind of say, the storyline, because they were released prematurely by the Makuta, although they don't have any other programming besides clean Matanui, so that's why they destroyed everything.
Yeah, so they weren't really evil, they were basically just doing their job, just a little too early.
Yeah, and as we'll see again later, this is bringing up a secret a little bit earlier in the episode, but Borok are actually Avaku destined to turn into Borok. Later in the story, we'll see one of them give something to one of the Toa before they turn into one, and that's kind of weird to think about. It's like that whole evolution thing. So Matoran can stay Matoran their entire life, or they can evolve and become a Borok, or they can evolve and become a Toa.
Wait, so that means Napiri, when he was in the caves, he was dismantling fellow Matoran.
Well, not really, but I guess that's the closest thing to cannibalism the Bionicle universe will ever come to.
Unless you kind of count like something like if Karzani ever ate his people and he went, but I don't know about that.
Well, on a lighter note, their second task was to retrieve the Staff of Artaka. They couldn't find it in the archives, which was where it was originally located. And but then they remembered that it had been stolen by Dark Hunters, so the Toa Nuva traveled to Odina, where they met the Shadowed One, who gave it as payment to the Vortex, which, for those who don't know, is Rudaka's race, and made when he made a deal with them. So they were given the location of the staff on the island of Zia, but in return they had to kill Rudaka, who was like the double, triple, quadruple, times 5, times 12 agent between the Dark Hunters and the Brotherhood of Makuta. Like, seriously, she switched allegiances like 18 times. I'm not even kidding.
She's probably just in it for herself in the end, and then it's kind of like, I'm a super spy. I don't trust anybody. I just want money, power, all that jazz.
Ultimately, that's what it was.
She has worse loyalty problems than Starscream. I mean, seriously.
That's true.
Commander Starscream!
Oh.
You like my Starscream voice?
It's pretty good.
10 out of 10.
Thanks. So, instead of doing this, they decided to capture Rudaka, and they forced her to mutate the Rahaga back into the Toahaga, which were their original forms before she, poisoned them and turned them into the Rahaga. So, the Toa Nuva then turned her over to them, and the staff was taken by Makuta. Let me pronounce this correctly. Now, according to the wiki, it's pronounced Ikarax.
Oh, no.
So, Makuta Ikarax. And the Toa, they unsuccessfully had combated him in Karzani, so they failed to defeat him. And they were unable to retrieve the staff, so they just said, screw it, let's continue with the list of tasks.
And
so the next task was... anyway.
It's good.
Okay. So the next task was to retrieve the heart of the Visorak. and this was left up to Pohatu Onua. So, what the Heart of the Visorak does, it summons all the Visorak to one area, and I don't know, this has kind of been a little bit a strange subject for me. I don't know if the Heart of the Visorak is a once-use item, although Visorak has been summoned multiple times in the Bionicle storyline. That's what's kind of confusing to me, and I don't know. It's just strange.
Which, if you dropped, like, that was the warning they were given when they got the Heart of the Visorak from the villagers was, do not let it touch the ground, because if it touches the ground, the Visorak will appear. So I guess it's something like teleportation that happens. So if it hits the ground, I guess if you pick it up, they'll be there, and until you drop it again, they're gonna stay there. But kind of weird. Stepping backwards for a second, for those of you who don't know, the Staff of Artaka is a mysterious staff created by Artaka himself a long time ago. And in the original Bionicle storyline, Artaka created a lot of things, and he wore the Mask of Creation. Kind of goes hand in hand. But the Staff of Artaka is capable of recreating any broken object, so long as a fragment of it remains. So at the end of Mask of Light, we see Jala's mask is broken, or not Mask of Light, Metronui, Legends of Metronui. I don't know why I said that. I was thinking, anyways. But at the end of Legends of Metronui, you see that Jala's Komau has been broken, and then if you have the Staff of Artaka there, he can just be like, oh, there you go, it's fixed. You can put it back on, and nobody's gonna have to wear Lakon's mask.
And actually, at one point, when they were rebuilding Metronui, they used the staff, and just magically the city went back together.
It's just that cool.
Wow.
Probably one of the most powerful artifacts in the Matoran universe that isn't a mask.
Definitely. But,
Yeah.
So their fourth task, you're going to love this one, was to quell a series of active volcanoes. Now, it doesn't sound too bad, but they decided to send Tahu and Kopaka. So they went to some southern islands, like Artidax, to accomplish this. Tahu's armor got a little cooked, but and Kopaka was a little worse off, but they succeeded. Now, this begs the question. Why would you send the Toa of Ice to go quell a series of active volcanoes? Like, Toa of Fire I can understand, because he's got the heat resistance. But why the Toa of Ice? Ice melts in heat.
Any other Toa would have been better, because Liwa, I guess you can use wind to put out a fire, if you so wanted to, enough gust of air. Golly's water is going to put out fire, create steam. You're going to have Pohatu and Onua, who are both more, land and stone enabled, to where they're a little more resistant because, the volcanoes probably going to be spewing some rocks at them or something. Popping out every once in a while, there's going to be rock all around them, so they could use that to, their advantage. But send Kopaka, because Kopaka is the most logical choice by Greg. There you go. I don't even know if it was.
The strange thing is, Liwa, in this, thing, it doesn't say Liwa has a task or anything. I don't see anywhere. So, they should have sent Liwa instead of Kopaka. And then, or even Gali, because Gali is, the next task is actually that Gali is mapping the Red Star and all sorts of stuff through a telescope. And it says that she's using an Akaku, even though Kopaka's main mask is in Akaku. Put Kopaka there. Take Gali with Tahu. I don't know.
I think it was kind of like, it's kind of like how everything in the Star Wars Extended Universe doesn't always make sense.
Well, that's why they wiped it clean, and now we have the 7th movie.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. So, yeah, all the Toa Nuva have, each other's masks, right, in their Suva, except for Tahu, because his Toa Suva was destroyed in the attack on Takoro. So he doesn't have any of them. But Gal, I guess they can all access their masks, but still, I mean, you could just send the dude who could see already really well, and you can send the person who would probably be more useful in quelling some volcanoes to go quell the volcanoes while this guy just looks through a telescope.
See, and then with Kopaka, he always, his main mask is an Akaku, technically an Akaku Nuva at this point. So he's already more skilled at using that mask than any of the other Toa probably. Each Toa, their main mask is probably the one they're most comfortable using, that they use the best. So why would you want Onua to deliver a message using his Kakama when Pohatu's standing right there and can do it just as fast, if not faster, because he's better using his mass powers. It's a little, not the best planning again, but we got what we got. We can't go back and change it. We can't go back and beg Greg for canonization of different things anymore. So I guess we're gonna have to deal with it. So let's move on, shall we?
Well, either way, the Toa eventually regrouped on Daxia, where they witnessed the usage of the Staff of Artaka, which had been recovered by Brutaka. I almost said Rudaka. Brutaka, who had recently redeemed himself, and he used it to reverse the damage done to the universe as a consequence of the Great Cataclysm, which, for those who don't know, is the event that occurred in Legends of Metru Nui. So, from there, they were teleported to the island of Artaka, where they were actually created. And during their time there, they were given adaptive armor by Artaka, which automatically adapts to the environment the wearer is in. So then they were teleported to the core of the universe known as Cardinui by Artaka, and their armor adapted to give them flight. So now they can fly.
I guess Lee would probably... sorry. I guess Lee will probably be the best at this, because, air is his element. So I guess it's good for Lewa that he's flying,
Most comfortable with it, probably.
Yeah.
It's just like if they had done what the Toa Mari were doing and had used their adaptive armor underwater, Gali would probably be the best underwater and probably be the most comfortable because it's her natural element.
Exactly. But either way, when they arrived there, they were in the middle of a battle between some Avmatoran and Makuta, and they used their newly formed Midex Sky Blasters to force the Makuta to temporarily retreat.
Boom.
Side note, Midex Sky Blasters are the best gimmick weapon in Bionicle ever. I mean,
they're really the best launchers, but I mean, you can say they're the best launchers all you want to, but mine's still the Squid Launcher is my personal favorite.
Oh, totally. That one, far superior accuracy, range. It always worked.
You could always keep track of your ammo, never had to worry about losing them.
Yep.
It was so easy to use. Lol.
I think they're actually,
Seriously.
I don't know, I got my Squid such a long time ago. I'm pretty sure they're at one of the last two houses I had. I'm not sure which one. They might be in a landfill somewhere with a bunch of trash. I'm not really sure. That's how great I am at keeping up with those squids.
I have squids, but no launcher. Because the launcher, I lost the launcher, but not the squids. I don't know what's wrong with good old Evex. What is wrong with me?
Well, we can't talk about that tonight. We're on a different topic. But anyways.
So, yeah.
Right.
The Toa actually just left the Avmatoran to talk about what happened in Cardinui. So they learned that Makuta had actually invaded it. So the Toa decided to split up into two teams. Kopapa and Patu would stay and help the Avmatoran there in Cardinui above, while Tahu Gali and Onua would journey into the swamp below in search of the Konohi Ignika. So in the skies of Cardinui, the Toa Nuva Phantoka, which is the air sky team, fought with the Makuta, Antraz, Vampra, and Kyrox. I remember it.
The correct pronunciation is Kyrox, but I think it's I like Kyrox better. That's just, it rolls off the tongue easier to me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Kyrox. I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna say Kyrox because I like being series fanatic.
Kyrox, that I'm okay with. Icarax,
I'm gonna switch between the two whenever I feel like it.
Icarax and Icarax. Icarax sounds better though. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling him. So sorry, I'm not completely 100% logical, but whatever.
Yeah.
Apologies
so
to fans.
Makuta had actually been blinded recently when Matoro was teleported there. He was wearing the Ignika. It unleashed a blinding flash of light, and they all were blinded. So now they're like bats. And So they were fighting, and this battle actually raged on for several days. Until one point when Liwa and Tanma were actually the only free combatants, which forced them to free the others. And in the end, injuries were light, but Pahatu's shoulder did require some emergency repair. I don't know what kind of repair. I'm not entirely sure I want to know what kind of repair. But in between these battles, Kopaka and his team ended up receiving a keystone from Avmatoran and winner of the worst set in Bionicle, Solek.
You mean best set?
Which I really don't think his set was that bad, but that's another rant for another time.
I'm just saying, there was that whole thing for a while. This is off topic completely, but I think it needs to be addressed at least once. It's that the entire thing between Solekians versus Tanmites versus Soviet Phantoka, that was just literally probably worse than the original Flame. Like, it wasn't as bad of a fight as the original Flame War on BioTube years ago, but it was dumber. It was just a dumb argument, and people kept getting banned from communities and reported for spam on comments and stuff, and that was just stupid. If you still support that, please do not mention it ever to anyone.
Yeah, if you try to make an argument in the comments section on this video, we're just gonna delete it because we don't need it.
Automatically gone. I'm just warning you now.
Yeah. So anyway, Solek told them that if the other pieces were all gathered, it would all explain how to awaken Madanui. And later on, during a patrol, a Shadow Matoran named Kirop was captured, and he had a keystone on him, and they took it. And they learned about the Shadow Leeches that the Makuta were using to transform Avmatoran into Shadow Matoran, also known as Kramatoran, and they set out to destroy the hive that contained the Shadow Leeches. And they tricked the captured Shadow Matoran, Kirop, into leading them to the hive.
I prefer to call him Crop.
Yeah, I do too, but whatever. Greg insists.
So the hive, they're transformed into like bats, whatever the Makuta are. Then we get the hive, so it's like they're like a bat bee cross or something? That's what I'm getting from this.
Well, I mean, the hive is just where the Shadow Leeches are being bred.
Yeah.
I like bread.
Bread is good.
Sourdough bread, 10 out of 10.
White bread is good, but it's bad for you, so don't eat it.
Italian bread, man.
How about
I like
Olive
it on my
Garden bread?
sandwiches.
Because Olive Garden's the best.
Oh.
And
the
we're
best.
off topic again. Guys, we're
Yay.
stopping Bionicle right now. It's just, we can't talk about Bionicle anymore. So we're just going to talk about Olive Garden breadsticks for the next 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer it in soup.
Alright, let's go back to where we were,
Alright.
shall we?
So, in the hive, the Toa were soon joined by the Toa Ignica, which was the result of the Mask of Life creating a body for itself from matter on the swamp area. And so, in the hive, Makuta Mutron used his power of illusions to trick the Toa Nuva into thinking that Toa Ignica was actually a giant Rahi who was attacking them. But they managed to see past it. And if I remember correctly, at this point, Ignica actually attempted to kill them when he saw they were attacking him by draining their life force.
And also aging them as well. But the thing is, in my research I've done, it shows that the Turaga are thousands upon thousands of whatever years old. So if he was to age the Toa, let's say they're probably like mid-20s if we're going in human years. So all the math in the world, I don't get it. How are these Toa? How old are these Toa? We need to know that first. Because
Brother, you look 1,000 years older.
wow. And the only thing is, how visually would they change? I mean, these are Toa, and the only kind of hint we get if they're older is if they're a Turaga. So does that mean that Are their masks getting
Well, I mean, just
gray?
because you're a Turaga doesn't mean you're older. I mean, you turn into a Turaga when you've completed your destiny as a Toa and you give up your power.
I mean,
So technically, a Matoran could be older than a Turaga.
this is
Which is
true.
so confusing.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, okay, so when you awaken, this is another, I'm referencing the second movie again, I'm not going to say Mask of Light again, but it's Legends of Adventure New. So at the end of that again, they're awakening all of the Matoran. So every Matoran there, as far as we know, has been alive about as long as they have. And so even though they were asleep for a while, they were technically still alive because they weren't dead. So technically, the Turaga and those Matoran are about the same age. So I think it's just that a Turaga is just more wise and seems older in the way they act, while as a Matoran can be the same age as him.
It's so strange.
It is. It's a very strange thing.
Anyway.
So, so Kopaka defeated Mutron by faking defeat and then counterattacking at the opportune moment. So the remaining Makuta Phantoka Makuta, defeated the Matoran and the Toa, and Vampra and Kyrox prepared to kill the Matoran, while Antraz and Mutron began trying to infect the Toa with the Shadow Leeches. But Makuta weakened the floor, or Pahatu, weakened the floor and broke it, and then freed the Matoran and Toa using his Kakama so they could escape. And seeing that the Shadow Leech Hive was actually partly organic, Toa Ignika used his powers over life to destroy it. And Ikarax soon joined the Makuta afterwards, while the Makuta attacked their village that was remaining. So the Toa Nuva infiltrated the Makuta's lair and grabbed their third keystone, snagged it, and started to fight with the Makuta. As Ikarax had, he joined, so they're now 5 Makuta. So the fight turned into the Toa's favor when Toa Ignika joined, and when he retaliated to one of Ikarax's attacks, and he devolved Ikarax back into a biomechanical creature. So remember, the Makuta are basically just shells of armor inhabited by antidermis. So now Ikarax is a biomechanical creature now, so he's the same kind of species, I guess, as the Toa are. In a way. So, and during this battle, Antraz had his armor breached by an attack, so now his antidermis, I guess, is just seeping out. So the Makuta had to retreat to the swamp below, which left Toa Ignika to guard Ikarax, and so the 3 Toa Nuva followed them.
And then we hit the summer wave 2008, the Mistika. And I think that we can, it was good. It was good seeing how they awakened Motunui and stuff in this next part, and how it was the final battle. But I didn't really like it because how they called it the final battle, because I was like, Bionicle's ending, isn't it? Motunui's gonna be awakened. The Toa's destiny is gonna be done. We're not gonna have any more Bionicle story. And then we got a few more years, 2 more years, not a few. And then we were done until 2015. But so after deciding to split off into groups and diving from the top of the village, the Nuva arrived in Hardanui, and this is Tahu, Onua, and Gali. So they're just kind of going through the swamp, and they decide that they're gonna split up and look for the just the Mask of Life, which they have no idea that this is above the surface. No idea. It's just like, hey, it's up there walking now. They don't see it fly by or anything. That'd be kind of weird.
So, yeah.
Look up in the sky. Isn't that the Mask of Life flying right by over us? We're done.
So they wasted half their time just on the ground doing nothing.
His brother next to him. I think that is. I don't know where it's going, but it's going somewhere. But so when Tahu was searching, he found the Kodrex, which is this giant, large metal spear. It's kind of like the center of the universe. And he was kind of curious about what was inside of it, who made it, and just had questions about it. But he tried to go inside and got flung back by an invisible energy shield. So it's not really his fault, it's just, energy shields sucks. But they were all kind of struggling. They each encountered one of the Makuta. They were down there, they were one of the Summer Wave Makuta, and were each having their own problems. But Tahu was probably having the most, and he was getting his energy drained, so he's like, flare, and sends up this giant flaming signal into the sky that's like, hey, I'm kind of dying over here, can you help me?
If it's not too much trouble.
Yeah, if y'all aren't busy. But Anua and Gali were kind of busy. So they had to hurry and finish what they were doing and go help him and barely got away. But so they all flew off. They flew off to Tahu's location and were being pursued by Makuta still. And once they regrouped, so the Makuta and the Toa were regrouped, and before they could engage in a nice fight, Kirox was falling to the swamp floor because he's that good. So they went. Makuta actually have a heart apparently, and went to help their ally and stop him from crashing to his death. That's the nicest thing I've ever seen a Makuta do, probably. And so the Toa Nua used this chance to escape. And they eventually made their way. An Avator eventually led them away to a small clearing surrounded by light vines. And this is that part I was talking about earlier. This Matoran, they were witnessing Avmatoran transform into Borak and then be transported to Borak nests so they could be given a Krana. And so the last one there that hadn't been transformed handed the Toa a keystone so they could get into the Codex, and then transformed into a Borak and disappeared forever. And they were kind of just shocked, and shocked they attacked Makuta's base and got the last keystone. So they're like, so then the Makuta are following them to the Codex, and the Toa are going there as well. They do a whole fight thing. The final battle has begun, or so we think.
Yep.
It's all a lie. The cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie.
No, I don't want to believe it. The glorious cake. Oh no.
Anyway, the final battle. So
During
while
the battle,
fighting, Krika subdued Gali and tried to convince her to leave the swamp. She was rescued by Takanuva, who had just arrived. So the two Toa went to go find the others, and they were joined by Pahatu. And shortly thereafter, they were attacked by a Nyazesk, which Takanuva promptly defeated with his shadow powers, to Pahatu's suspicion.
Nyazesk
So Gali,
just really annoying, minuscule insect like Rahi that were created by Biddle, however you say his name. I don't
Biddle.
care. Biddle.
Vital.
I don't care.
Biddle.
We all Lewa, pick yours.
Yeah, so, but Gali verified that Takanuva was Takanuva through mental examination. So I guess she, had him sit down on the nice leather couch while she took notes.
Yep.
She probably probed his mind. Be like, I see Lewa's innermost thoughts, and they are pretty disturbing.
All there are is just tree words. There's trees.
All you see is tree speak. Everything is in tree speak. And there's he's just flying around up there with a bunch of birds, flapping his wings. There's actually his arms. Lewa's off in his own fantasy world.
He's one big turkey.
Yes, he is.
A green one. Maybe he's more of a peacock because he's majestic.
Yes.
But either way, the three Toa eventually arrived at the scene of a battle between the rest of the Toa and the Makuta. So Takanuva's powers tipped the balance of the fight and forced the Makuta to retreat. So Tahu showed the other Toa the 6 keystones. The other 6 Toa the keystones, sorry. Shortly thereafter, Toa Ignika arrived and told the Toa, using his knowledge of languages. He took language arts, and he was pretty good. He's really good, had a good grade in English. Or Matoran,
I guess Maori, whatever the tribe is. That was
I also
Maori.
really like
Maori. That's how you say it. That's the
Yeah.
tribe that Bionicle got most of its language from. It kind of got sued over in the beginning a little bit.
Yeah.
But hey,
Reasons they're
every
not called the
great story.
Tahunga.
But so he told the Toa of his nature and the Doomsday Countdown, which had been activated. So Takanuva then revealed that as soon as the Toanuva awakened Matanui, an energy storm would start up and just ravage Kartanui. So the Toa decided to fulfill their destiny of awakening the Great Spirit, and then quickly make their escape from Kartanui. So Tahu managed to fit the keystone into the niche in the force field surrounding the Kodrex, and then as the Toa passed inside, they just grabbed the keystones to make sure they weren't being followed. But Antraz managed to slip in behind the Toa. So inside the structure, Onua hit a button which made the floor descend, and the Toa found 6 giant light stones and 6 pathways leading off in different directions. So Lewa, Pahatu, and Kopaka found at the end of their paths 3 special vehicles, the Axalara T9, the Rocco T3, and the Jetrax T6. But before Kopaka could board his vehicle, the Jetrax, Antraz hijacked the vehicle and discovered that it kind of had like some kind of system that acted as eyes for him, so he didn't have to worry about being blind. So Pahatu boarded the Rocco, and Lewa boarded the Axalara, and they pursued him through the maze of tunnels and engaged him in combat.
Which, quick side note, this is something that's recently come up, actually. Kind of glad it did, because it's another point in Bionicle G1 and G2 connecting. The Toa splitting off into 6 paths happens again in G2. If you've seen Journey to 1, this isn't a really big spoiler for it. But in Journey to 1, they do, in the Labyrinth, they do end up splitting up. They have to use their creatures, they have to unite with them, and that's the key to opening up their pathway to going down into this area. And they all have their 6 separate paths they have to walk, which is very similar in a way to this. They had to use the 6 pieces of the Codex to get inside and then walk to their 6 paths. So maybe LEGO isn't screwing up G2 as bad as they possibly could.
Yeah.
They're really not, though. It's actually, for anybody who really hated Hero Factory, any of you really hated Hero Factory, I'm okay, hate Hero Factory as much as you want. Honestly, I just got it for the parts. Bionicle G2 is actually not doing too bad. It's just a little bit simpler is all.
Yeah.
We're trying to get new fans of Bionicle into it, and then they can go back and research all the old stuff. And then they have all the other lore and stuff that we have to look into.
Yeah.
It's more like a portal.
Portal
2.
Cake is a lie.
No.
But, so Kopaka joined in the conflict, and he got his vehicle back. So in the Kodrex, Gali, Tahu, and Onua realized that the process to reawaken Matanui would take way too long, and that the quickest way to do it would be if Toa Ignika sacrificed himself and used his powers. So Toa Ignika was a little peeved at that, and started trying to kill them by draining their life. But Gali convinced him that he should by reminding him of Motoro's sacrifice, because Toa Ignika wanted to be like a true hero, and he decided he wanted to be like Motoro. So he turned himself back into the Konohi Ignika inside the Kodrex and began to reawaken Matanui, which resulted in the energy storms starting up. So as they started up, the storms destroyed the Makuta, and the Toanuva escaped on their vehicles. And they reached Metronui, and they discovered it under siege, but they lent their power to the battle and drove off the forces of the Brotherhood of Makuta. So everybody's happy, celebration, just like at the end of Return of the Jedi. But then Pterodax revealed that he had taken over Matanui's body, and therefore the whole Matoran universe. And that, my friends, is where we will end this episode of Bionicle Uncovered.
Yeah.
Wow, we were going to say the exact same thing, word for word. We're in sync.
Because I'm psychic.
But the thing is, we
I'm a
should probably
psychic
talk
type
sets
Pokemon.
Well, what am I thinking of?
of this year.
You're thinking about Pop-Tarts.
You knew.
Oh no!
No. But that is
I
it.
knew all.
Okay. So, but wait, we haven't talked about the sets yet.
Don't need to talk about the sets. That's what reviews are for.
Well, I mean, we usually go have a brief overview of the sets.
I'm kidding. So, the Toa Nuba.
So, I'm sorry.
This is their second release. This is our third time seeing this group of Toa in Bionicle. So in the early 2008 wave, we got Antraz, Vampra, and Kirox as the Makuta versus Pohatu, Liwa, and Kopaka as the Toa, and they each had a Matoran that matched their color scheme and element. And that was our early 2008 wave. While the mid 2008, later 2008 wave was the remaining 3 Toa and 3 new Makuta who were more suited to the depths of the swamp. And they didn't get Matoran, but I think they were originally planned to. At least the Toa were.
Yeah.
Sounds right. There were also a few Titan sets. The Toa Ignika, Takanuba's new Shadow and Light form, because that whole thing happened to him, which we are going to cover that at some point. The dimension hopping of Takanuba that he did during 2008. And of course we got the vehicle sets. Pohatu and Liwa both had their sets. And we got the jet tracks, but the jet tracks came with Antraz, so you can always pretend Kopaka got his special mask and put him on there, but it'll never be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rip.
but again, Midax Sky Blasters, coolest Bionicle weapon next to Squid Launchers.
And then we got the Ninra Ghost Blasters, which they didn't work so well all the time.
Yeah, see, I have one, because I only got one of the Makuta from that year, or I got 2, but I got one with the Ninra Ghost Blasters, whatever. And I have one. I know where it is. I never really touch it. Like, it kind of looks cool, but then that firing mechanism doesn't really work. It's kind of lacking comparing to the Midax Sky Blasters we got earlier that year.
Yeah.
And the Squid Launchers of old.
Yeah, which I think this is probably the only year in Bionicle where we got 2 different types of launchers, 2 new types of launchers in the same year. Because at first we had discs, and Kanoka discs were cool, and then we went to just like the throwing mechanism, and then we went to actual disc launchers, and then we got the Zamor spears, and then we got everybody's favorite, the Squid launcher, and then we got the Midax Sky Blaster and the Ninra Ghost launcher.
And the Thorax launcher.
And then the Thorax launcher. The Thorax.
And don't forget the Rotuka spinners from 2005.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those.
Yes.
Thank you. But yeah, Bionicle. That's probably, yeah. But yeah, we never had, my point is there's never been 2 new launchers in the same year, so it's kind of cool.
Actually, there has been.
There was?
Wait, no. Was the Baraki and Toa Mari released the same year?
Oh, that's right. Kodak Blasters and Squid
Second
Launchers.
time
Yeah.
that happened. So the year before was the first time it happened. This year is the second time.
Yeah.
Apologies. I don't know my Bionicle. It's too late for this.
That's right.
Gonna have to get some sugar.
So spice. Everything
nice. Powerpuff
Hey.
Girls Marathon.
Just not the reboot, please.
Please no.
Alright.
Watch it be like the Teen Titans Go of Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, have you ever seen it?
Oh no.
If you haven't seen it yet, it doesn't live up to the original, just warning you. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and end it off there. Hopefully that's enough information about your sets. They're great. Great, mate.
10 out of 10.
The only other thing I have to say is they used Metru colors for Tahu and Gali, and then Liwa and Pohatu. Liwa got his lime green and Pohatu got his orange, which were newer colors for these sets. It's just kind of cool to see. But yeah, so that's everything you need to know about 2008, hopefully. If we missed anything.
But wait. There's one more thing.
What is it?
The joints are very fragile. So
Oh, yeah.
if you have any 2008 joints, throw them out. They're useless.
Especially if they're lime green. Anything lime green and Bionicle will
Yes.
break on you, just warning.
If you sneeze, broken. If you even think about it.
If you build the set, it will break.
If you think about it, it'll break. Okay, so don't think about your lime green joints. Oh no, I just broke something.
Dang it.
Curse you,
Alright.
Motow.
No, but if you think we missed anything, or you have something to add, please add it in the comments. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye!